Paul here from the Tralee Gangsters for my part of the Valentine's Day menu. For my course, I'm doing the Seashore to the Forest Floor, which entails a sea greens gel, a forest floor granita, and a Haussen sorbet. For the sea greens, you will need wild sea greens, being the sea tarragon, which is out there at the moment, and some scurvy grass and a few other wild greens if you can find them. Some seagrasses, softer sea beet shoots would be fine. You will also need some gelatin, the leaf gelatin preferably, as it will leave a clearer finish. Some warm water and some boiling water. You will also need utensils wise a small pot, a whisk, and a dish. It's a large white dish because you don't want this to be too deep. Or else, if you wish, you can set it up in a mold, like a square mold or a heart-shaped mold or whatever you prefer. You set it up onto the plate or whatever it is you're using to serve this. For the forest floor granita, again, the same idea applies. You will need the softer greens in the forest floor, which is wild garlic at the moment. There's some chervil out there, there's some cow parsley, and you can also use some of the hart's tongue fern. It's quite tough, but seeing as we're cooking it anyway, it will be fine. For this process, we will also, for the Haussen sorbet, we will also require a Haussen. It's a syrup, think hoisin from the Chinese, but same method, using just a different berry. The recipe for which is further back on in the blog. We will repost again once these videos are up as well. So let's get cracking. Now, to save me some time, I've already pre-boiled my water for my sea greens, and I have also started to soak my gelatin in warm water. So warm water into a little cup or a bowl, dip it in warm water, not boiling because you don't want to melt it. And once this water comes up to the boil, dip in your greens, and I'll show you the next step. So now that our water is nice and boiling, here's our sea greens. Just to dunk them in. Now just to leave these cook out for a minute or two, just to get them nice and soft and allow all the nice green juice just to come out of them, so we can make this gelatin nice and green. So next we are going to tip them out, strain them through a colander into a bowl. Shake off that excess water. Now from here they are going to go into another container with some ice and some cold water, and we're going to blitz them down. Now I have my gun here. So I have a gun here with the ice and the cold water in, and blitz until it's all combined. I have a lovely green colour here in my pan now. I'm going to add this back to the boil so I can add in my gelatin. My gelatin I have soaking here in this little cup for just a couple of minutes, just to add in when this green gel has been brought up to the boil. Now with this coming back up to the boil, I'm going to add in my gelatin. Just make sure you get a good squeeze out, get any excess water out. Also, according to your gelatin label as well, as per the instructions, whisk it in or mix it or whatever. Make sure the water is out of the leaf gelatin and whisk it through until it's all gone. Then we can set it up inside whichever molds we wish. Okay? Now, just to be sure I don't have any excess bits of the sea green or any bit of gelatin left over, I'm going to pass it through a fine mesh sieve into my bowl before I put it away. Fortunately, I did that. I actually did have some excess green and a little bit of gelatin inside in it. So we all make mistakes. So I just passed it through. It's all out, and I put it into my little jug here. so I can put it into my little molds for which I'm serving it in. I am serving it in these. These are scallop shells which I have brought from work, which is Ava Jones restaurant. Thank you very much. So using these, I'm going to set it in to the back of it here, and I'm going to lay the rest of it along here. So we're going to have a nice little contrast of different colours throughout the dish. So I've just poured it into this little container here. I'm going to set it into the back of this shell. Just pour it in nice and gentle. Just be careful, do not spill any. And I'm going to pop these into the fridge and leave them set for the next couple of hours, and I'm going to come back to them in a bit. Now, it is important to note also that you can also use agar, and such other setting agents to create this sea green gel. Now, I'm moving on here to the Forest Floor Granita, which is all my little forest greens. So into the forest, picked up a bit of wild garlic, bit of cow parsley, and a bit of chervil, a few dandelions, and a hart's tongue fern. Just to add them in to my boiling water. Now, just to leave them cook out there for a couple of minutes to soften any hard bits, and just be sure you've removed all the dead leaves or the miscoloured leaves, misshapen leaves, miscoloured leaves, and so you don't have any miscolorations in your finished product. Now, like the last recipe, I'm just going to take off my greens here. Like the last recipe, everything is going into a blender again. So a little bit of water and a little handgun. Tip in the greens, just take them out of the pot with the tongs, like so. Add in some of that lovely juice as well. And in with your gun and blend. Now, like the last one, we are going to pass this through a fine mesh sieve again, just to remove any excess pulp and any leaves that haven't quite broken down in the blending process. Be careful when you are doing this blending, as you may find sometimes the water does come up over and mess up your counter. Now I'm just going to pass this through my little mesh sieve. Oh, smells are amazing. Now, with all this green juice, I'm going to pop this back into my little colander so you can see it. This lovely light, deep green colour in places. I'll give it a quick taste. Ooh, needs a touch of salt, so don't be afraid to add anything that you would like. Now to this, I'm also going to add a little bit of black pepper as well. So I'm just going to add it in here. And give it a mix with my spoon. There you are. Now, I'm just going to pop this into a deep container and it's going to go straight into the freezer. Okay, for the next bit, I'm going to be making the hoisin sorbet. We are going to need some simple syrup and sugar syrup. Normally you make this with white sugar, but because my liquid is red and I want to keep it as red as I possibly can, I'm going to use some brown sugar instead. So into the water, I bring it up to the boil. It needs to come to a rapid boil. You'll know it's ready when the sugar bubbles start to come out like they start to come up like bubbles from like you're blowing bubbles. So quick stir, mix it all in. It's going to dissolve anyway. So now for this recipe you will also need some hoisin, which we have made from work. It is made from the hawthorn berry, which was out there in autumn. So we went out, picked them, and cooked it inside the restaurant. We use it with a tempura prawn, which sold beautifully with that. You're also going to need a little sorbet machine, which you can pick up in any good electrical store. They can range from €30 all the way up to €100 or thereabouts. Both have already been in the freezer for the last hour or so, so they're nice and ice cold. My machine was running there for the last 20 odd minutes as well, which helps keep them nice and cold. So I'm going to pour it in. I'm going to set it off again for another half hour or so until it starts to crystallize and begins to look like homemade ice cream. Is your best way to look at it. So until it starts to churn and starts to hold firm itself. So now that the granita and the sorbet have had the night to freeze in the freezer, it's time to take them out, and I'm going to show you what to do with them now. Because I have been breaking the granita last night for every half hour or so, come in quick, take from the edge, I have ended up with this. It looks like ice crystal. It has formed the ice crystals which I want. So all I have to do now is just literally dab them with the fork to break them apart. And for just to serve, just use the spoon, take it from here onto that plate, and we're good to go. As for the sorbet, I have it set up here in my little container. I have a mug here with hot water and my little ice cream scoop. So into the corner and pull, and there you have it. Scoop of sorbet. Okay, now I'm going to show you. Now I'm going to plate this up. If you remember yesterday, I had set up some jelly in the scallop shells. This is what it turned out like. So for this, we're going to put the jelly in the center. I'm going to serve them on plates. Okay, so jelly into the center. A little bit of granita using a spoon or a fork if you like. A bit there. And just for finishing, a little bit of the sorbet right at the back. And there you have it, from the seashore to the forest floor.